Welcome back to another Tuesday night lecture. I'm very happy to see everyone from every single corner of the world. To the newcomers, please, every Tuesday, 8:30, bring your friends, don't be shy. This week is Parashat Vayechi. Parashat Vayechi is a very interesting, beautiful, and many different subjects. Now in this week's parasha, we see something very unique and very different than what we see in our generation. I'm going to explain to you. Yaakov Avinu, he calls his sons and he says, my days are coming to an end and I want to bless you. I want to bless every single son. Now, before we get into the blessings, we have to understand something. There were 12 different kids. Now, in Judaism, we have to understand the way we live in our society. There's either the right way or the wrong way. It's either you keep Torah mitzvot or you don't keep Torah mitzvot. Or if you keep Torah mitzvot, you have to keep it in a certain way. There are certain sects. I remember the first time I went to Borough Park for Shabbaton. They looked at me like I was a goy. The first time I was, in 9th grade, they thought I was a goy gamor. Why? Because I wasn't wearing their clothes. Is that the right way? No. And also in this area, if a guy comes from that part of the world and they come here, we look at him like what? Like he's some weird guy that fell off the moon. There's actually one community that I was 2 weeks ago in their community. It's in Bayswater. Actually, Rabbi Chai lives there, and it's something very beautiful I saw there. It's not a place for me to live, but it's a nice place to go visit, to see real Achdut. In one corner you see a Lubavitch shul, in another corner you see a Litvish shul, in another one you see a Hasidic shul, in another corner you see a Moroccan shul, you see a Yemenite shul, you see a regular Sephardi shul, you see a Bukhari, you see everyone and no one's looking at you like you're weird. Because at the end of the day, we are all brothers, we're all united, we're all the same thing, but we serve Hashem in our own different way. But we all serve it in the same way. Why? We all follow what? The Torah mitzvot. Yeah, okay, I follow the Torah mitzvot, I hold a little different, but it's the same thing. For example, I have to keep Shabbat, right? Now, none of these different sects hold that if you put on fire, it's considered you keeping Shabbat. They all hold if you put on fire, you broke Shabbat. Even though they have a different way of looking at it, but at the end of the day, in the essence, is the same way. And so on and so forth. Now, there was a time in Jewish history that even though when Yaakov, when we had the 12 tribes, he did it purposely that we should work unitedly, we should be together. But there was a time in history that we weren't united. Every Shevet had their own plaga. They had their own everything. They had their own prince. They had their own following. You don't mingle with me. I don't mingle with you. We're our own identity. That's a good word. They were their own identity. After Moshe Rabbeinu passed away, who took control? Yehoshua. From Yehoshua until the times of the judges, there was a gap, a very big gap, that there was no leader. All the Jews, every Shevet, they had their own community, their own people, their own leaders. As it says, Beyamim ahem, in those days, Ish kol hayashar be'eino. Everyone did whatever they thought was good. I think this is good, this is what I'm going to do. You think this is good, this is what you're going to do. There was no Achdut. And what happened? The very big destruction happened. If we look at the Sefer Shoftim, at the end of the Sefer, something very disturbing happened. There was a guy that was traveling. The story is Pilegish Bagiva. We don't know his name. I think he was from Shevet Yosef actually. He was walking, he was traveling, and he had a concubine. Back in the day, besides having a wife, you were also able to have a concubine. A concubine means a girl on the side, not to do averot with. You had to still keep taharat mishpacha. You had to keep the nida laws. You had to give her ketubah. There's a machloket between the Rosh and the Rambam. I'm not going to get into it. If she gets chetzi kedushin or not chetzi kedushin, again, I'm not getting into it. But there was such a thing, and they did it l'shem, tahara. They did it for purity, I'm not going to get into, again, I'm not getting into this topic. And this man, he ended up in the lands of Binyamin, and he's middle of doing his tent and everything. He was preparing his dwelling place, and suddenly he finds out that this Pelegish of his was brutally raped and murdered, brutally. And he didn't know who did it, but it was in the land of who? Binyamin. He also did something very brutally disgusting. He took her, he chopped her up into 12 pieces, and he sent them out to all of the 11 tribes, really all the 12 tribes, because Yosef is split into two. Even though Levi didn't have a tribe, it's still, we can say 13. He sent it out to all the tribes, the piece of the body parts of this lady, and he says, will we be quiet that our brethren, quote unquote, Binyamin, they did such a thing? So all the other Shvatim got together, and they said, we're going to come with a conclusion. What's the conclusion? We're going to tell Shevet Binyamin to tell us who did this disgusting act. Okay. At the end of the day, there was a civil war. 80%, if not more, if not 90% of Shevet Binyamin was wiped out. They were obliterated from the face of the earth. There was almost nothing left of them. That's another reason why Shaul HaMelech comes from Shevet Binyamin, because the king had to come from the smallest tribe, but we're not going to get into that today. Phenomenal question we all have to have. Why didn't they just tell them who did this to her? We wouldn't want those people anyways living with us, right? You wouldn't want to have a rapist to live in your community? No, right? Just give the people, these people that did this disgusting act. No? Makes sense. Logical question. There's only one answer. They felt each tribe lived their own way. They didn't have a unity. If you have a unity, you would have no problem telling, listen, take him. You can have him. They didn't do that. And that's why they got very much cursed. Not really cursed, but they got almost obliterated from the earth. Can you imagine? A majority of a tribe got wiped out. Women, men, everybody. Children. If you read the Tanakh, you're going to see how the Jews were so bloody to ourselves. You're going to feel like, wow. We would kill each other all the time. We had wars between each other all the time. Is that allowed? No. It's not allowed. How can you kill your brother? It's one of the 10 commandments. It's one of the Shev Mitzvot B'nai Noach. You can't kill someone. A goy has that commandment. Kal v'chomer, a Jew. You know what I mean? And Yaakov Avinu knew this secret. All the Jewish people were like a harp. We're like 12 notes on the harp. Imagine only having one note. Would you be able to make a nice song out of it? There will be no song, it's just one note. Do, do, do. You need all 12. There are 12 ways of serving Hashem. And I understood this later in my life, unfortunately. I also used to judge people. Oh, he has a cuckoo, he has long hair, he has this, he has that. Yeah, you're not supposed to. But at the end of the day, what is he? He's a Yid, he's a Jew, no? How many outside people look at us different? Huh? You don't even have enough fingers to count. But at the end of the day, who are we? All brothers. Yeah, some of us got straight a little bit, we went a little off. But at the end of the day, we're brothers. And who knew that? Yaakov Avinu, excellent. Yaakov Avinu said, all my sons come to me. And actually, before we're going to get into Yaakov's blessings in a little bit depth, they also made a pact. The other tribes made a pact. They made a shvuah, swear that they would never marry. They would never marry into Shevet Binyamin. They didn't want Shevet Binyamin. Binyamin was cursed in every single level. Until when? until the day of Tu B'Av, the Jewish Valentine's. Right? There's a Jewish Valentine's Day. It's called Tu B'Av. And Tu B'Av, the 15th of Chodesh Av, they nullify their swear, and all the women and girls of a proper age, don't start thinking different things, of a proper age would go out to the field and they would go try to find a suitable match for themselves. Not date for 5 years and then say, oh, you're not for me. It's date for 5 times and say, let's get married. That's the way it was, if not even shorter. I think it was Ben Sion told me that his parents went out twice, 3 times? Twice. He said, Rabbi, how many times you went out? I said, I don't want to get into it. He said, my parents went out twice. I said, Mazal Tov. Because back in the day, that was normal. And you know what? Their marriages last longer than the ones that date for 5-10 years. You think you know everything when you date for 5-10 years, but you don't know jack. And that's when you get crushed. When you get crushed, you know a person for so long, for so many years, and suddenly they're not that person. They're totally somebody else. It's like, wow, who am I spending my life with? With full of nonsense. But a person that doesn't expect that, he's only going out 2 times, 3 times, 4 times. He already knows. I don't know the person, but I know we can relate.
Similar.
Somewhat similar. Totally not similar, but somewhat similar. That's the way it was. And that's what happened at the end of Sefer Shoftim. But now let's get to the blessings. The blessings of Yaakov. You know, Yaakov Avinu, if you look at his first 3 sons' blessing, they are so tochacha, full of disciplines. I think if any of our parents would tell us what Yaakov Avinu said, we would run away. We would really disown our parents. We would say, yo, you lost your rocker and I'm out. And that's the difference between people that have discipline and don't have discipline. Let me ask you a question. You know, there's a very nice saying. You need to be a slave in order to be free. What does that mean? Can someone take a guess? You need to be a slave in order to be free.
That means you have to be in a position where you felt like it is to be a slave, and then once you're free, you know what freedom really feels like.
Wrong.
It's like saying before you become king, you first a prince.
Wrong.
It's like saying before you want to become a leader, you have to be a follower.
Wrong.
It's someone like saying you have to fail in order to succeed. Something like that.
No, and I'm going to explain to you what it is. A person that is free is someone that knows how to constrict himself. Let me ask you a question. When my 4-year-old, actually now he's 5, I'm gonna ask you, I'm not gonna ask you, I'm gonna tell you something else. Today I went to go with my son to the dentist. He had pain on his right side. I went with him to the dentist on Main Street. And I was sitting with him, and the cartoon TV was on. I had my Sefer, Likutei Levi Yitzchak. I was learning a little bit, and suddenly, my son is staring, he's looking, and I said, he's a little kid, we don't have TV at home, we don't have any of this, let him watch a little bit, it will calm him down. I didn't want him to get nervous. So I said, but no, what kind of father am I? I can say it's mutar right now. I said, I'm not going to do that. I go to my son, I said, you know that box? That's the Yetzer Hara. He looked at me like I fell off the moon. He's like, yeah? That's the Yetzer Hara? He said, so let's tell the nurse to close it. I said, no. He said, why? I said, what kind of person are you going to be if you always run away from your problems? So he said, okay. I promise to God you can ask him this. He said, I'm going to go look out the window. Now he looks out the window, and there's a glass door on the right side. So he's looking, and it's hard. So he looks at the mirror in order to see the reflection of the TV. He looks, and then he pushes back. He looks, and then I see he's looking. So I tickle him a little bit. I say, "Yow, the Satan got you." And he looks at me. He's like, "But it's so hard." I said, "I know. Isn't that such an excitement?" That's the adrenaline. That is freedom. When you know you can stop yourself from your desire, that makes you a free person. If I'm a person that only runs to do whatever I want to do, I'm a slave. I'm slave to myself. You're worshiping yourself. You're the biggest slave. But Rabbi Safwan, I want to get high. I want to get drunk. I want to do shtut with the girls. I want to do... Okay, Mazal Tov, you did all that. You accomplished everything on the list. Do you feel satisfied? The answer is no. And every single one over here is going to admit to it at the end of the day. The answer is no. You don't feel satisfied. And why is that? What did you say?
I learned this yesterday, actually. I was at another lecture. I learned that the more you attach yourself to something that's physical, is the more depressed you're going to get, because you have to attach yourself to something that's unlimited.
When someone is bound to his physicality of this world, he's a slave to himself. You just don't realize it. Let's say I take a guy that loves to smoke weed. I know you don't want me to get into this topic. I know a lot of people here don't want me to get into this topic, but I'm going to get into it anyways. Again, I'm not talking about if it's good or if it's not good. I told you I'm going to warn you before I say that. Let's say a guy that loves to smoke weed. Everyone, I think, in this room tried it at least once in their life.
Never.
Okay, shh, be quiet. You know, a person that enjoys that kind of enjoyment, to tell him to stop is very, very difficult. Why? Because right now he's officially enslaved into that desire. I'm enslaved into getting high. That's just what it is. I know a very good friend. I know we're on camera, I'm not supposed to say it, but I'll try to say it as nice as possible. He's a man harlot. You know what a harlot is?
Yes.
You know what a Rachava Zona? You know who Yoshua married?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. He's like that kind of guy. He's enslaved to his desire of woman. To a way that's not even fathomable. It's not normal. It's not normal. And Hashem created him for that reason. You want to know why? Because he was born to be such a beautiful guy. He's so beautiful. But that's what he is. Hashem put him in this world for him to fight that test. So when he goes and does the shtuyot, is he really living life or is he enslaved in his life? He's enslaved to his own desires. A person that is free is a person that knows how to constrict, how to say no. If you think you are free, you are really a slave. If you think you're a slave, you are really free. And that's the Torah. What is it to be a true chassid? Not a guy that has a big furry hat. That doesn't make you a chassid. Not a guy that has a bend-down hat with a beard. Yes, those are nice things. We should all have it. Not the big hat, but we should all have a nice beard. We should all look Jewish. But what is a real chassid? Someone that is mityaches im kono. Someone that he relates to his creator. He serves him because he wants to serve him. He doesn't serve him because he's forced into serving him. And that's our problem in our generation. We don't know how to relate ourselves to our creator. We think it's always a force. You know when you guys will understand? When you'll be parents. When you'll have your own kids, you'll understand that one day your son's going to say, Abba, I want candy. And you give him, and you give him, and you give him, and you give him, and you give him. Suddenly, what does he have? Full of cavities. And you still give him. No, it's okay. And you put him under that chair, and you see his teeth getting drilled. And at that second, you're like, what did I just do? I caused my son pain. It's the worst feeling. When my son was getting his teeth drilled, I felt like garbage. But it's not me. But it is you. You are your son. Your father is you. That's why he can't stand you. That's what it comes out to be. That's who you really are. You are him and he is you. And And that's what Yaakov Avinu was saying to his sons. He said, I know who you guys are. You guys are me. And if you go and you track his life when he had his kids, it will fall into place. Reuven. Rashit, only you're the first of my seed. Yaakov Avinu, he first time had relations when he was 84 years old. Is that normal? Yes. It's normal. Not the 84, but the first time you get married. And what did he tell Yosef? What did he tell? I'll tell you why I'm saying Yosef. Because when he married Leah, he thought he was really with who? Rachel Imenu. He got tricked. That's why it's very important when a person is married and he's with his wife, if he has improper thoughts, know that your kid will come out blemished. Your kid will have a harder time to fight for what's right, because the father is drawing down a very hard tzelem, not neshama. All neshamot are kedoshim. On your soul, there's something called a tzelem, a certain garment that your child will have a hard time fighting. Why? No. Why? Because that's the clothes you give your children.
How do you think about?
Talk about that at a different time.
What do you mean if you're...
And who was Yaakov Avinu thinking about? Rachel Imenu, while he was with Leah. And that's why Reuven did what he did. What did he do? He changed the beds of his father. I don't know about you guys. I never walked into my parents' bedroom. Never. Unless they told me to, specifically for a certain thing, I would never walk in there. Who gives you the right to walk into your parents' bedroom? It's Kodesh Kodeshim, it's the holiest thing. Over there is Maaseh Merkava, over there is the holiest things are happening in that room. Who let you go inside there? Oh, Rabbi, you're so perverted. No, I'm not perverted. It depends how you look at about life. You look at life as a disgusting thing, or you look about life as a holy thing. Who let you go inside that room? Reuven, he had the attribute of water. He was too fast to do things. He never thought about doing things. Did he think for a second, wait, my father put his bed specifically in this room. Why should I change it? He didn't think. He said, why should a servant have it? Let me put it right away inside my mother's tent. Wait a second, Reuven. Ask your father. What are you doing? He didn't think. You acted too fast without permission, you lost everything. And what did he lose? He lost the kingdomship, which went to Yehuda. He lost the Bechorah, the firstborn, which went to Yosef. And he lost the Kihuna, which means the priesthood, which went to Levi. In one strike, he lost everything. Why? Because he acted too fast. He didn't say, let me stop for a second. Before I do my next Avera, let me think, wait a second. Is it worth it or is it not worth it? Am I going to have to pay for it for the rest of my life or not? Do we think that way? That's the way we really have to think. Am I going to come to shiur and just chatter? Or am I going to come to shiur to listen? And so on and so forth. That's the way we have to live our life. And that's being a true chassid. Chassidism has nothing to do with outside appearances. Whoever thinks that way is not a chassid. He is a bum. Say it in my name. He's a bum. A chassid is someone that every second he walks and he lives and he breathes, he thinks about what? Hashem. Am I doing something right now or am I not doing something right? Would Hashem be happy or Hashem wouldn't be happy? Do I look like a fool to the people around me or I don't look like a fool? Am I doing a Kiddush Hashem at the moment or I'm not? Do I live my life for who I am or do I live my life for people? You know, I got a phone call one time from one of the Rebbeim in our yeshiva. He's like, Rabbi G, I need a favor from you. I said, yeah, what's the favor? I need you to speak in a certain girls' school. I said, B'shum panim bo'ofen, I'm not walking in there. Why? First, number one, my wife would kill me. And second of all, what's the point? They're not going to listen. They'll get inspired for 30 minutes, like all women do, and then automatically, They go all the way, they hit rock bottom. It's like getting high, you know? Why do people smoke weed? They want to feel such an inspiration of life. They do. And I don't blame them. They want to feel such a goodness, but at the same time, they crash. And that's when they reach the deepest hole of their life. And that goes to adults now too. So he said, so I have a certain girl I want you to talk to. I said, regarding what? Regarding this news. I said, don't talk. I said, here's my wife's number, 718, but yada 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 yada. Call her, she'll talk to you about tzniut. When I was going out with my wife, not everyone, a lot of people know the story, but not everyone knows the true story.
Why did you want to talk to the girl?
Why it's not sanua, first of all. I have no right talking to a girl without my wife's permission, and especially if she's not in the room, and especially there's not enough more people there. It's just the way it goes in life.
Yeah.
You can't do whatever you want. There's certain guidelines and rules. And what happened was, when my wife and I think I was in 11th grade at the time, me and my wife came up. I knew my wife for many years. Many years. I don't want to get into the story, it's not anyone's business at the moment. We came up with a conclusion that we're both, I think I was in 10th grade actually, we're both throwing away to wear jeans. You know? Why? It's just a stupid thing, but what was it? For our certain level, I know it's very funny, people are going to hear this, but in our certain level, certain relationship that we had, we thought at that time it was right for us to do that, and so on and so forth. Even though I knew my wife for many years, doesn't mean we didn't keep Torah mitzvot. We weren't in Tra-la-lando. We were in Tra-la-lando, don't get me wrong, but we had guidelines. There are very few people in the world that knew their wife for many years before marriage, and they didn't, and they succeeded. Very few people. There are many people that know their wives for years, and after they get married, everything breaks up. Like a volcano, comes to an end. So when he asked me to speak to this girl, you know why he said no? Because I said she's not going to listen to me. She's not. A person that wants to change, they have to want to change out of themselves. When I wanted to change, when I wanted to be better, wanted to make a difference, I did it out of my own will. I sought for help. I did what I had to do. I grew up in a religious house, but I had my own different tests. People think that's always so easy if you grow up in a religious house. It's harder. There's someone in this room, if not more than one, that can relate to me. It's extremely hard. It's more difficult. Why? All your friends are enjoying, in your age, to your understanding, enjoying, and you're the only one sitting back and just, I can't do it. Why? I had a certain reputation in a sense to keep. My father was a person of the community. I couldn't just, okay, yeah, let's go to the club. Oh, let's go chill, let's go hang out. It wasn't like that for me. It wasn't possible. I was raised in a way of a discipline that it's not possible. You understand? And that's the way Yaakov Avinu disciplined his kids. So when he disciplined Yosef by telling him, you lost everything, Yosef didn't whine like a little girl and run out. He took it like a man and he said, I know I did a mistake. And who did the tshuva for him later? If we look later, Moshe Rabbeinu prayed for Yosef, which we're not going to get into it right now. Okay, Shimon and Levi. Shimon and Levi. You know what was their blessing? I think it's worse than Reuven. He said, since you used your sword to destroy Shechem, you will be cursed to be scattered amongst your brothers. You will be scholars, but you won't have a resting place. You'll always have to go, you'll always be scattered. You'll be the Talmidei Chachamim. You'll be the rabbis that will be teaching Torah. That was Shimon and Levi. Now, the Yalkut Manuel says right away, Yehuda and all the other brothers got a little bit afraid. They're like, listen, our father's off his rocker. We can't handle this anymore. To get put down to such a level is not normal. And Yaakov Avinu saw that, and suddenly he changed his tone of voice. He said, Yehuda. Nice to see you.
Likewise.
He said, take food. He said, Yehuda, you will be the king of your brothers. Why? Because you knew how to admit to your mistake. Wait a second. Time out, everybody. Time out. Big time out. Out of all the brothers, think for a second. Use your brains for 1 second. Who do you think would be the suitable king of the Jewish people? Out of all the 12 tribes? Yosef. Yosef was the suitable king at the moment. He fought his tests. He survived Mitzrayim. He went against Eshet Potiphar. He stayed religious. He kept the Torah. Yehuda, he fell. He slept with his own daughter-in-law. He had kids from her. Wow. And what does Yaakov Avinu say? You are the suitable king. You know, I always hated, thank you. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam she'akol nihya b'dvaro. You know what I always hated? You read the stories of the tzaddikim, and automatically what they say? At 4 years old, he knew all the Gemara. 5 years old, he knew the Mishnah. Yeah, these are nice stories, but that doesn't give me any hope. What am I? Okay, Mazal Tov. Yes, he was a good guy. The Gaon of Vilna knew he finished before his bar mitzvah. He finished the 2 hard masechtot, kritut, and he was, But what is that? What does that relate to anything to me? No. It has nothing to do with me. But Yehuda is 100% us. He fell. He fell in one of the worst sins, Znut. Yeah, he fell or he didn't fall is irrelevant. But he admitted it when she came and said, whoever this staff and this signet ring and this tefillin this belongs to, that's who I was with. And what did Yehuda say right away? Tzadika mimeni, she is more righteous than I am. That is a true king. A king that can rule with his brains and not with his emotions. That's why only men can be rulers and not women. Oh, women's rights has nothing to do with women's rights. I love women. I love my wife. You can go ask her. She has all the right in the world in my house. She makes decisions. Women's rights. Woohoo! But women rule with their hearts. If you see a child crying because he wants a candy and it's not good for him, always the mother or the grandmother or the sister will say, here, just give him the candy. Oh, his teeth are falling. He's gonna die. Give it to him. Maybe, what are you doing? What are you doing? The father? Nope. Oh, you're such an achzar. You're so wicked. What? He's wicked? He's the most kindest person out there. He's the one that's saving your life. And that's the story between Yosef and Yehuda, and that's why Yaakov Avinu, even though he loved who? Rachel. Yosef the most, Rachel, which came out to be Yosef the most, he still said the kingdomship had to be to who? Yehuda. He's the one that can make the right decisions. He's the one that at Tehillim says, Sheva yipol tzadik v'kam. 7 times a person falls and gets up. That's our life story. We fall every day. But every day we also read in the Tefillah, what? What do we read every time? Not only Ata Gibor, we read that 3 times a day. Mechadesh bechol yom tamid. Hashem renews us from the beginning every day. Every day, remember, you have a clean slate. You are born with a clean slate, Rabotai. If you don't know Pirush HaMilim when you daven, you're not davening. If you don't know what you're davening, you're not. You know why people hate to daven? They don't know what they're saying. Elokai neshama shenatata bi tehorai. God, the soul you gave to me is pure. You chose it for me. You gave it to me. When we read it and we understand what we're reading, it's a total different davening. It's a new identity. It's a new prayer. You look, open the Amidah, Hashem sfatai tiftach v'yagid tiratecha. You're asking Hashem permission for you to pray. There are two ways of understanding it. Oh God, you're so pessimistic, you're so thinking, you're so egoistic, God. Or we also have to ask permission from you to also daven to you? Yeah? Why? Because you did sin with that mouth. Let's say someone did a sin with his mouth, right? He
Cursed.
No. He ate pig. I'm gonna be very, very... And the smell of bacon is in his mouth. And now you go to a rabbi, you ask, Rabbi, can you give me a blessing? What is the rabbi gonna say? Get out of here! Brush your teeth, have some respect. How you come with your breath smelling like bacon? The same thing is that when we come to God. God, we love you so much. Please give us permission that we can open our mouth to you. Let me pray to you. I want to pray to you. I want to be close to you. If you knew the power of prayer, you would never let go of that book. Never. You pray for everything in Amidah. Everything. Your family, your wife, your kids, for your enemies, for your health, for the Geulah. The reason why you don't realize it because you don't know what you're reading. You were forced into it. And that's one thing I love about our yeshiva. Not our, but specifically not mine, but Rabbi Chaim Yeshiva, Laman Achai. The kids that come to your yeshiva, they're not diamonds. But they come and they know that they want to change. They're the kids that come and say, Rabbi, we know we do wrong, we admit we do wrong, but we want a difference. We want to be different. We want to change. And unfortunately, there are very, very, very few, maybe even less than as many fingers as I'm picking up as yeshivot like that. Every yeshiva thinks that their kids in their yeshiva are the most tzaddikim, and they're the greatest, and they're all tehorim, and none of them do any shtuyot. But that's wrong. They lie to themselves, and that's why the kids are not getting the proper help. And every single one of you here can both admit to it that I'm saying right about their old school and right about to our school. I can sit you all up, every single one of you, and get a testimony for this. And you want to know what's the difference? It's because life is not black and white. Life has some gray. I went through some gray. And I can relate to you. Specifically you. And you. And everyone here. And I'm not going to deny it. I did sin. Not half as what you guys did. But I did sin. But we hold hands at the end of the day. What does Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai say in the Zohar Kadosh? Which the Chovot HaLevavot says, which we learned last year, that this world is one big boat. We're all in one big boat. Let's say there's a guy, his name is Moshe. There's Moshe here?
Yes, right here.
There's a guy called Moshe, we'll use it. And we're on a big sfina, we're on a cruise ship, Kaif, we're going to, I don't know. And he got the lowest, the bottom one. Why? He didn't want to pay so much money for the top one. He wanted the lowest. This Moshe, not you. And he said, I want to make a pool for myself. He takes a hammer and he starts hitting the walls of the boat. He wants to make a hole that there's going to be water in his room. He wants a pool, no? He wants to swim with the dolphins in his room. What are you guys going to do if you were next door? Habibi, what are you doing? The sfina, the boat is going to sink. We're all going to get stuck. What are you doing? That's who we are, Habibi. I can't hate you because you do something wrong. I have to love you more because of that. That's what I have to do. I have to hold your hand and say, let me help you repair that hole in the wall. I want to help you to have a difference in your life. Not just me. Every Klal Yisrael has to think that way. When I'm saying me, I'm not meaning me. I'm not having that ego. I'm saying all of us have to think that way. We have to be lev lachim, hold hands together. We're the same heart, the same brain. We're just a different part. You understand? And Shimon and Levi, they decimated and they destroyed a whole town. That's not normal. Kas, you have anger, you can't. There's no blessing there. There's no blessing. Yehuda, which is the king, he got this blessing. Why? Because he knew how to have self-control. Our mission in life is only about self-control. It's very easy for a girl to get, how we call it, her attention from outside by walking that sanua. Very easy. But it's also very hard for her to get attention when she's walking sanua. But at the end of the day, if you look at the scale, right? Is this girl going to get a better man if she's more sanua or less sanua? When she's more sanua. So why the heck wouldn't you do that? Oh, because you need attention. Okay. That's the problem. That's our issue. If we come to a conclusion that we can do everything the right way, the world will be a different place. We have to do it for ourselves, not for somebody else. The reason why we do our studio that we do is because we don't think there's a benefit in me. But Rabbi, let me enjoy right now. I want to enjoy. Right now I want to enjoy. Okay, you're going to enjoy now. And let's say one day you're going to get married and your wife is not going to give you the ultimate pleasure that you thought that you would one day get. How are you going to feel then? How are you going to feel? Explain to me. I tell you how you're going to feel. Like the worst feeling in the world. The worst feeling. Why? Because you're stuck. You're stuck. In that period of your life, you're done. Why? Because you experienced something and you cannot get it back. So why to put yourself in that kind of condition? Explain to me. Why would you put yourself in the epitome of hell? Or for enjoyment? 30 seconds of pleasure, 12 months of Gehenna. Or in this case, 30 seconds of pleasure, 120 years full of unsatisfactory in any aspect that you think about it. That was Yehuda. He got up, Yehuda. He said, I know I did wrong, and I'm going to be a king. After Yehuda, Zevulun. Now there's a very nice question I asked myself, why is Zvulun before Yisachar? Yisachar was the scholars. Zvulun was the businessman. Zvulun was blessed to be full of business. Hatzlacha in the water, Hatzlacha in the fields. His water ended at the lands of Asher. Asher was also very good in Parnassah. And riches and the oils and stuff like that. Why was Zvulun, which was blessed with monetary, was blessed before Yisachar, which was blessed to be Dayanim, judges, scholars in Torah? The answer is very simple. Because Zevulun, his reason of making all of his great money was in order to support who? Yisachar. He said, I'm making this wealth not for myself. I'm not selfish. I'm giving it to my brother. I want him to learn, so I'm gonna share him. I'm gonna pour for him. People that support the Torah, Hashem gives them kifle kiflaim, 100 times more. That's what Hashem gives.
And support just means like money-wise, or?
Anything. Whatever is needed. For example, in our shiur, we need a new camera. Yeah, tell it to the viewers. We need a new camera. This camera we need to get is a lot of money. It's close to $1,000. It's literally, and I'm not doing it because I want to look better on the camera. Trust me, I look good enough. The camera can't handle my goodness. No, I'm just playing. You understand? I'm not. It's a good gava, because if not, I'm going to end up looking like.
Oh my God.
You understand? We need a new camera. We need the people to support the Torah anytime. Whoever, even if there's a group of 50 or 100 people that support for this specific camera, the schar of every shiur that's recorded on that camera goes to who? Goes to them. Imagine, you know how much time I need to prepare a shiur, or any person that gives a shiur? You know how do you know if a shiur is good? When someone prepares it. How do you know a shiur is not good? When the person doesn't prepare. Same thing in school. How do you know that day you can take advantage of the teacher? The teacher just comes, he's freelancing, he doesn't know what he's saying. But a teacher that comes and he's prepared, wow, the students see the smoke coming out of the teacher, he's like, and he goes at it, he's like, wow, we're done, okay, yes, let's go. I know this from experience. When I come prepared to my classes, that the students can't say a word. When I go and I start talking slow, already everyone knows, yes, we can fry him, except me, because they know if they fry me, they're done. They're literally done. They know this. I'm going to turn the camera, they're going to all admit it. You understand? So that's why Zebulun was blessed before Yisachar. Oh, Torah, Yirat Shamayim. No. Torah is great. Who's going to support the Torah? Who's going to give strongness to the Torah? That's what we have to do. Most shuls nowadays, unfortunately, are like museums. It's a museum. I feel so sad. Why? There is no limud Torah in there. There's no Torah value. Why aren't there more yeshivot? Put more yeshivot. If I had a person that say, Rabbi, I'm here to give you money, the first thing I would do is open a Beit Midrash. Not a kollel. A Beit Midrash where our young guys at the from age of 18 to 20 something could go learn Torah. They can become better people. That's what we need. Money will always come. I can tell you this out of experience. When I got married, I had nothing to my name. Nothing, not even a sock. I had nothing to my name. Baruch Hashem, Hashem said, I want you to get married, and I'm going to give you everything. And He did. He provided me with everything I needed. Do I regret it? Not a second. If I had a chance, I would get married earlier. I wish I got married earlier. I wish. Fortunately, I wasn't Zochet. This generation became a foolish generation. They think if you get married early, you're a pervert. That has nothing to do with anything. You know, actually, if it wasn't for the concept of having relations, you would never get married in your life. You would want to live with someone annoying? No. Would a woman want to live with someone that's commanded? No. That's what it comes down to. You feeling me?
No.
I'm happy you're enjoying the soy sauce. Or what is that actually? Duck sauce. The duck sauce. Dan! Shevet Dan! Shevet Dan. When you speak, the whole camera is like vibration. Shevet Dan. Who is Dan? Dan was blessed with to be, as they say, he was blessed to take the revenge over the Jewish people. Who came out of Shevet Dan? Shimshon. Shimshon HaGibor, the strong man. You know Shimshon was a cripple? Mm-hmm. People don't know. They see Hollywood only. Some guy with long hair ripping lines apart. Yeah, he ripped a line. That has nothing to do with this. He was a cripple. He had crutches. Crutches, Habibi. He had crutches. Yeah, he had long hair. Or over here, long hair. Why can I have long hair? You understand? It has nothing to do with anything. Why he had long hair? You have to come. We have to learn Parshat Naso. We have to open up the Chassidut and the Kitvei Ari, and I'll tell you why he had long hair. I can't hear you.
Nazir?
But there's more. Why does a Nazir have long hair? That's the question. We're going to get to it a different time when we're going to get to that level.
It's like Jewish monks.
We're going to get to that. When we get to that level, that's what we'll describe it. The Goyish monks have no hair. Why do we have hair?
Yeah, we're opposite. Why would we want to learn from the Cleveland?
You understand? Dan took the revenge of the Jewish people. You know there's a Mashiach ben Dan that most people don't talk about. It's a midrash. Mashiach ben Dan is going to come with Mashiach ben Yosef to fight the Goyim. There's a midrash like that. They're going to come together and they're going to fight. It's not where they are, it's where we are. We have to take the mirror and ask ourselves that question. Me included. Where are they? Who's they? We. The reason why they're not here is because we're not really here. We have to live a world of tikkun. We need to live a world of fixing, not a world of destruction. We have to fix the world. We can't destroy the world. After Dan came God. Not Gadaev, but God. Shevet God were frontline warriors, Habibi. Frontline. They used to slice people from their shoulder until the end of their rib. You know how many bones that is? Did you ever try cutting a shoulder bone? Habibi, you need something strong to cut that. With one blow of their sword, the midrashas, they used to kill people. They used to fight, not even one used to die. They were strong, they were giborim. Rabbi, I'm so strong. Let me see you go fight someone. Start shaking in your pants like that. Shevet Asher! Shevet Asher! They were blessed with two things. Shevet Asher was blessed that his food will be very, 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 not just delicious, will be very blessed. They were not cooks, they were not ratatouille with a fat guy chef walking around. That's not Shevet Asher, don't get a misconception. They were blessed with oil. The lands of Shevet Asher grew a lot of oil. You know, Dafka Yehuda was blessed with wine, Shevet Asher was blessed with oil. I'm not going to get into what they have to do with each other. One's Hasidut, one's Kabbalah. I'm not going to get into it right now.
You gotta tell us. You gotta tell us.
What else will they bless with? That the Midrash says, with beautiful women. We gotta call Hatzalah. Someone just fainted. We have a fainter. Shevet Asher was blessed with beautiful women. What does that mean? I'm going to find you the source to it. I know there's a source. I actually read it once. I'm going to find you two things. One, they were hairless. Yes, that's a blessing. That is a blessing.
Girls?
Girls. And number two, they didn't have a menstrual cycle.
Really?
And how do we know this? Because the Bnei Levi, the Kohanim, used to want to marry from Shevet Asher. Why? Because they had a lot of details of Tumah and Tahara, purity and impurity. And Kohanim are not allowed to be impure in order to eat the Korbanot. Imagine a Kohen that doesn't like to go to the mikvah. I want to warn you right now. Get ready for every day at least 100 times to go into the mikvah. Because you need to always be pure. Always, you need to go in, come out, go in, come out. You gotta always be pure. You're kadosh, you're holy. So the Shevet and Levi, they always needed to be pure to do what they needed to do. You understand? Let's go weiter. Let's continue. Shevet Naphtali. What was Shevet Naphtali? Runners.
It was very fast.
Not water boys, but runners. What does that mean, runners? Not 47, no. Those are the guys that want to be big, but they are working 47. What do you do? I'm a runner. You know what we say to those people? You know what we say?
Those people end up being something.
You understand? Those are runners. You were you know what I'm laughing? The people one time that thought they were, suddenly what did they become? Runners. They're the lowest of the low. Hashem should give you such parnasah. They should have 100 runners. Now, shh. I think he's looking for a job. You can hear him now. Shevet Naphtali, they were runners. Why? They were always used to run to tell news, to always have information. Not only that, Eretz Israel was blessed to be the land of Tzvi. Why a land of Tzvi? Why a land of deer? Because as many people used to put in Eretz Israel, it always looked that it was so big. It was a, if you ask a sofer, not a sofer, but a person that makes leather, when they stretch the skin of a deer, it's like stretches double its size. When you stretch a goat or a cow's skin, if you do a little bit more than what it is, it'll start cracking and ripping. That's the beauty in a deer. Now Yosef, there's so much to talk about, but I'm going to cut it to a minimum. I'm going to give you one skula. Why was Yosef blessed neged Ein Hara? Everyone,
Because he was beautiful.
Lahefech, that's why you should have more Ein Hara. Because people look at you more. That's why you should have Ein Hara. But why was he blessed? Even though he was so beautiful that he was, whoever's from Shevet Yosef doesn't have Ein Hara, it says.
They don't have Ein Hara?
That's what it says.
They don't get Ein Hara.
They don't get Ein Hara. No, they get it, but it doesn't affect them. Oh, we're not going to get into it. The Gemara says it. We're not going to get into it. Don't get too happy. Shh. Wait. What's the skula to go against Ein Hara? Let's say someone thinks that they have Ein Hara. They have to be like Yosef. What is that? They have to destroy their desire for looking at a woman. And women have to destroy their desire for trying to attract themselves towards men. Yeah, that's the skula. I'm not telling you now to put a garlic on top of your house, to do uspandur, that avodah zarah, to put, evil eyes and all this shtuyot. Evil eyes is not shtuyot, the Ben Ish Chai brings it down. But everything else out there majority is all BS, nonsense, and it's all garbage. You want neged Ein Hara? You don't want problems? Stop running after women. First of all, they're so annoying. They're so annoying, Habibi. They only want and want and want. Come on. Like, how stupid can you guys be? You know what I mean? Don't worry, you guys are not any better. You guys are not any better. I'm not going to get into it now because the camera's on. You guys are not any better. Okay? You guys are like dogs. Alright? I'm not going to get into it.
They're cats.
Okay, shh.
Saying Yosef, how come he got
Yosef, he got a blessing. We have fruitful kids. He was blessed for everything. He was the Bechor. Shh. Binyamin was blessed as an attribute of what? Zaev, a wolf. A wolf eats in the morning and at night it shares its spoils. What does that mean? Binyamin, the Beit HaMikdash was built in whose property? Not in Yehuda's. Don't get mistaken. In Binyamin's property it was built. That's why it says when Yosef and Binyamin, they saw each other in last week's parasha, Binyamin cried on Yosef's neck, and Yosef cried on Binyamin's necks. Plural. What's going on? Grammatical mistake in the Torah. No. Yosef was crying on both destructions of the Beit HaMikdash that's going to happen in Binyamin's property. He was already saying the Nevuah. He's saying, Binyamin, I know one day that the Beit HaMikdash is going to be built on your properties and they're going to get destroyed. So I'm doing I'm crying for the Khurban Beit HaMikdash now. You understand?
You didn't finish why Yosef had the blessing of Ein Hara. I mean, to not get Ein Hara.
I just told you because he fought his desires of women.
Oh, sorry. I was listening.
Okay, no problem. Now, we spoke about the topic why Yehuda should be king and not Yosef. But now I'm going to get a little bit off. You guys got the blessings of the Shvatim? Good?
Yeah.
Nice enough? Very good. Now I'm gonna get into a small little topic. How many minutes is the camera? It's already 1 hour?
Yeah.
59 minutes.
Close it. Baruch Adonai le'olam. Amen v'amen. No, the shiur is not ended, but. I'm gonna do a small.
Pose it, pose it, pose it.